Hello everyone, welcome to a little bit of a different video on the channel today. I'm going to be the first, well, not the first person to speak about this, but I want to be one of the people who makes a stand, against what is happening with video games, specifically EA Sports. So if you don't know, which I mean probably not a lot of you know, recently there was a bit of a controversy relating to College Football 27, which was made by EA Sports, where, if I show everyone, the team basically added microtransactions to single player modes. And what they did is that caused so much backlash that they have removed all of it. And pretty much that has made a lot of people in the community, me included. I know one person, being Nick Run the Foot Market, the biggest content creator for like EA and FIFA. He's one of the biggest with over a million followers. He tried to rally the EA community for FC very recently in 2024. He tried to rally us all together to try and improve the game, so we can make it more focused on gameplay. However, he got backlash for it, while the collegiate footballing community were praised, and it got changed. So I'm here to make a stance, and Paul is right here. I am no longer going to be playing FIFA at all. I'm never going to spend money on it ever again. I'm not buying the next game. I'll get the next game on the free trial, and I'll play it till it comes to EA Play or it comes to PlayStation Plus. I can't play a game which is this shit and just be all about microtransactions. That makes me sound like I'm a little crybaby, right? I don't care, right? This just needs to stop. EA have basically made it so bad that it makes me feel disappointed. So, to explain this, in this game you can pay to train quicker. You can train quicker by paying money. And that's basically in Road to Glory and Online Dynasty. Right? This is just not good. And they've already rectified it in the space of 2 days. And, it's been what? It's been nearly a decade since the last good FIFA, in my opinion. The last good FIFA was FIFA 18 without pre-patch. I've been playing FIFA since pretty much FIFA 14. I missed out on 13 and 12 because I was like 4. But I played FIFA 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, and 26. And this is the most disappointed I've been, ever, with the game. Honestly, I'm not the first person to make a video on this topic, but I'm sure not going to be the last, but I feel like I want to make this video just to be brutally honest. When I was playing recently, I played a couple games start. I played 5 games, and oh my god, I literally, I'm supposed, my team has literal 97 Zidane, 97 Numenj, 97 Gabriel, right? These players have elite playstyles and playstyle pluses that should make them probably in the tippy top echelon of the game. I almost lost 3 out of my 5 games due to me being actually scored on in the 90th minute, all because Gabriel or Numenj would not tackle the ball, and they both have Anticipate or Anticipate Plus. Now, with Anticipate, that is meant to improve the tackling ability and should give them the ball more frequently. However, even with perfect timing, the ball still bounced back to Haaland, so Haaland could do an easy, low-driven shot past my Vozinha into the goal. However, his goalkeeper, even though I was still winning 3-2 and he scored to make it 3-3, his goalkeeper, on the other hand, was worse than my keeper, and he was using a 93 rated Mine Yan. Now, you probably say build could be here, but they have the same playstyles and are both around the same height. So make it make sense that for some reason a card with better stats and better playstyles is somehow worse than a player from about 2 months ago, right? That is clearly showing the lack of improvement in the EA gameplay. Let's just skip back to last year, FC25. FC25's meta was always 4-2-1-3 with CDMs on deep line playmaker, whatever role, right? Build up, and they would always pass it through the incisive ball to the striker L1 speed boost for on goal. FC24 step overs were so clinical. Same with finesse shots. FC23 power shots, outside foot travellas. 2022, I barely remember, but I remember there being a lot of, long balls and finesse shots and all that. FIFA 21, FIFA 20, FIFA 19, all of them. Directional nutmeg, bridge, El Tornado crosses, headers from outside the box, overhead kicks on the edge of the box. This clearly proves the lack of gameplay and the lack of knowledge on EA's half on how to build a good gameplay engine. And all they know how to do is make money, right? EA is a multi-billion-dollar company. They recently got sold 55 billion to go private to some Saudi people, right? So they have plenty of money that they easily could have invested into actually building a good game engine, either for FC or for any of the other games. But no, they decide to reinvest onto terrible packs, which if you literally look, some of these packs are just so expensive. For example, this is a video from Blaze. He basically made a video where that, if it will load, that is how much every pack in the store will cost every day on average. This is what it was in Team of Season. $450, right? 365 days in the year. That equals that much. $164,250. That is an actual outrage. That he literally said that is the price of a house in the UK where I'm from, which is absolutely true. If with that money, if he could have bought a house for what he said, let's just go back onto it. This could buy, as he showed us in the video, a house for £120,000, right? With, because 160k is about I think 140. You could also buy a car as well as probably other gameplay things on it. You could probably buy a whole setup with that on top of the house, which is just diabolical. EA, I've been playing the game for most of my life, and I think I've only spent FIFA points on 3 different FIFAs. I only spent FIFA points on 24, 25, and 23, right? I bought FIFA points on 23 towards the end of the year during Team of the Season. I bought FIFA points on FC 24 to do evolutions and to open some packs during footies. FC 25, I bought so many points that I actually spent nearly 50 quid on FIFA points for a kid. At that point I was 15, which is just not healthy. It's not good for you, right? I am now 16, nearly 17 years old, and I'm really regretting my decisions now in hindsight. And it's just wrong. It's just wrong. Honestly, I really am. I originally was thinking about quitting, FIFA overall. But because I love the game so much, I wouldn't quit, even if the gameplay is a shit, right? However, I just want, EA, if any person from EA is watching this, I'm asking of 3 things from you. This is 3 things. Number 1, new gameplay engine. Fix the gameplay. If you have to make playstyles weaker, make them weaker. Number 2, make the microtransactions not as overpowered, Back in FIFA 12, FIFA 13, the only promo packs you could get were 25k packs and 45k packs, about $2, maybe $5. Now you're getting packs worth up to 40 quid in the UK. That is just a diabolical scam. And it only gets worse when you have YouTubers like this man, like Danny Aarons here. Look how much money he has. He has 36 million credits. 36 million. Which is just diabolical. 36 million credits is absurd. I have on my main account, I believe I have about 130k. Now you can say, oh, it's due to trading. He basically, what he's done is he buys FIFA points to then buy coins. And is even sponsored by a coin selling website. He is constantly sponsored by U7Buy or MMOEXP. He gets $2,000 every time a shout out. Shout out in the video, $2,000 over here. Shout in the video, $2,000 over here. Shout in the video, $2,000 here. He makes at least 10k a video, and he spends $1,000 on FIFA points. It might be a good investment for him, but it's not good advice for the kids who are trying to get big at this game, right? the only times it feels like I've met a team is when I actually just grind 85 times 10s in VIDES. If I try to get a met team at, September with no money and a free RTG, it ain't gonna happen unless I get extremely lucky. Because he's spending so much money, he's basically guaranteed to get it because he'll just buy the players. So, like, we just need, what I'm basically asking is kind of like a FIFA point limit, where, like, every month you can only load up a certain amount, like a month, so like maximum 500 quid a month. And it's not like per account, it's per console. So, like, because obviously he does his $500 upgrades every week. Sometimes there's $1,000 every. Like, recently he upgraded his own mum's account with $1,000, right? And it's just mental to think that someone like Danny Harris, who's got actually such a absolutely massive, control over FIFA. He's got 1.4 million subscribers, right? I have what, 120, 130, right? So he has, millions probably more of control over me. And he's deciding, how am I going to do it? I'm going to, I'm going to spend lots of money, and that's going to make more people spend money, which give more money to EA, which is just not good. It's not good for us. So I just want it's like a limit of £500 a month on FIFA points is probably, in my opinion, the only thing I would suggest. But the third thing I want to also suggest is, simply put it, just make the game harder and make the power curve lower. So instead of the power curve being like that, like exponential, in 2 months you have 5 95 rated cards, make it so everyone is lower rated to start. It's like, instead of having, Mbappe be up at 91, make the highest rated player an 85, right? That will slow the power curve, and that will mean when it actually gets to the end of the game, when 99 cards come out, it actually feels like they're 99. They're actually much better, and not just OP and like never. Like, the 99s right now, they don't feel special, right? Like FIFA FC 24. I packed 99 Cristiano Ronaldo. Yet, in my opinion, he was worse than 95 Sorloth. FC 25. I packed, 99 Messi, 99 Ronaldo. I packed every single 99 that you could pack in terms of footies, in terms of the purple cards, like the Women's Euros cards. Yet, I still had, 97 Kaká, 97 Leao in my team because they were so substantially better. It basically feels like the 99 is just a number on the card. It doesn't actually show, quality. That's also probably the reason that Team of the Season flopped. Team of the Season last year, was actually fairly good. You had some pretty nice cards. You had 97 Mbappe, obviously, who's going to be insanely meta. But you also had people like Retegui, who was actually also really good as a 97. And they had also the lower rated cards, who are really good, like Jonathan David. However, this year, I literally opened packs the whole week. I opened during Ultimate, during all the individual leagues. The only good team of the season I got that I actually was able to use was Robbersley, because the rest were that bad. During this current promo, Festival Football, the only good player that I've actually enjoyed from this is actually, no joke, 95 Rashford, because he's the only attacker that I've been actually able to pack from either Glory Hunters or Festival Football. Never packed from the greats of the games. The only greats of the games I got was Zidane and the defenders. I never got any of those attackers. And it's just shocking that, people who spend, like $1,000 or $2,000 or maybe up to $5,000 a week, just on FIFA points, they'll get every good player. But then the people who just spend maybe a tenner every month, they can't get it. It's like, he's just basically living, no disrespect to Nanny, he's done well to make money off it. But it's just not a good example for us, most of his viewers are kids, right? Ozio, most of his viewers are kids, right? And he's spending, money in his videos. It's just not good. So just, EA, please, I'm not the first person to make this stance, but this is where I'm gonna say it. I can't play EA anymore. I'm never gonna spend money on your games again. And yeah, if you have opinions on this, please comment them below. But thank you for watching. I didn't expect this to be my YouTube return, but I just had to speak on it. It's just my opinion. So yeah.